Want to ride longer? Are you tired of a sore and achy ass? Then fix it with a high-quality butt buffer seat cushion. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions. And it literally saved my ass on our recent 10-day, 4,000-mile trip. No standing for this guy. No need with the butt buffer seat cushion. We got an email here if you want to handle it, Lurch.
Yes, this email, fairly recent one, actually. This is from Bill Christie. And Bill says, I have a 21 Road Glide Special, purchased the whim from the dealer. They installed and flashed. My Harley-branded Senna 30K is recognized by the whim. I turn on the projection mode per the instructions, but when I plug in the phone, CarPlay does not come up. He also says I'm using an iPhone 12 Pro. Also verified I'm using an Apple cord to connect the phone to the bike's USB port. And so our response was... I said sorry for the delay, Bill, because we've been on a 10-day trip out to Duluth, Minnesota. Of course, we filmed it, and Ryan will be making a documentary film about the trip. Ryan had the same problem, actually, on this trip. It turned out it was the cable between the iPhone and the boombox. Even though you may have an actual Apple cable, there could be an issue with it. So we used a brand-new cable, and it worked just fine. There's all kinds of quirks and stuff going on with the boombox and the Apple CarPlay, and that's what we found to fix it. So we would recommend you go out and get a new cable and give that a try.
And make sure also that your headset is on.
That's true.
Because it will not activate until your headset is on. I found that. Got to be connected, got to have the headset on. And then also the boombox, of course, is quirky. I did once in a while have to actually unplug the phone and plug it back in for CarPlay to come up. But you got to have that headset activated and to make it work. And try a new cord. If all that is true, then try a new cord. I'm thinking that will fix the problem. So there you go. How did he contact us?
He emailed us.
He went over to lawabidingbiker.com/contact. Hit up our contact form. Send us an email, guys. That's the way to do that. You could also leave a voicemail over there if you like. And we love hearing from you. And we oftentimes it makes the podcast cut. So there you go. You want to know how to have a fresh smelling and squeaky clean butt before riding?
I do.
Well, I'll tell you how, Popeye.
Tell me.
I'll tell you. Get hooked up with Dude Wipes flushable wet wipes. We used them extensively, both the regular packs at our VRBOs and hotel rooms. Lurch and I packed them. We also used the travel ones because I had to go to Starbucks in the morning, and I'm not going to lie to you.
You're very discreet. You just kind of reach over your backpack, slide that thing out.
I did it this morning, didn't I?
I know what you're doing, but nobody else does.
That's right. I blew a few Starbucks bathrooms up. Not going to lie to you. And, your butt will smell like a breath of fresh air. That's right. Support us and head over to lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-butt. That's right. BUTT. No additional cost to you, but we do get a small commission if you click through and make a purchase.
It's really handy for those maintenance wipes while you're traveling down the road on your motorcycle.
Pull over on the side of the shoulder and
if you got
freshen up. Huh?
Yeah, just a quick little fresh up.
Maintenance wipe. Lurch does his maintenance wipes. There we go.
Got to keep her clean.
Never know you're going to run into
you
it.
Never know.
Right. You just never know.
That's right. It's like a breath mint for your ass, Popeye.
Huh.
Like a breath mint for your ass.
Is that right?
You'll have a minty fresh aroma about you, even if you fart.
Rip a big old fart and you
Just
smell
smells like
fresh mint breath.
Ask the old lady, stick your ass in her face, fart after you use one, see what she says.
I try with you instead.
Oh, yeah. So you want to go on a trip. That's right. You're in the law-abiding biker store. You're shopping. You want to get something. You got to leave in a week. You pull out your pockets, inside out. Bam. What do you got?
Jack shit.
You got a piece of lint.
Moths.
A travel dude wipe. One travel dude wipe. And that's for sure.
You're rich now.
Yeah, you're rich. And a penny. Well, no worries, because that's right. Shop Pay Installments integrated right into the law-abiding biker store. You can frickin' hit the buy button. You know why? Because you have the option to buy it right now, knowing that you can simply pay in 4 equal payments Interest free. That's right. Interest freaking free. That's right. Don't forget, we also have added monthly shop pay installments where you can pay monthly, but they do come with an interest rate if you do it monthly. There you go, guys. A lot of you taking advantage of that. It's there for you. Use it if you like. Oh, yeah. Once you've had Rick Rack, you'll never go back. The ultimate motorcycle luggage rack solution. Forget those messy straps and bungee cords. Go strapless with a Rick Rack quick attach luggage system and quality bag. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Get hooked up now. We use the hell out of those things on our trip, which we're going to talk about in this episode. Hey, Bikeaholics, 03D has a wide variety of innovative products for your Harley-Davidson and a brand new line for the all-new Honda Goldwing named Gold Strike. I like gold. Top quality, affordable chrome lighting and comfort products. Zero Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of 03D products. Let's do this thing.
Let's go.
That's right. Part 2 of 2, biatches.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, also known as the
99%ers, baby.
large and in charge of the motorcycle scene more than any time in history. By listening, by being here, you're part of what we call the hashtag
Biker Revolution.
We do have just one question before we get started. What are you waiting for, bikeaholics?
Mount up and let us take you on another wild-ass ride.
There you go. Ryan Erlacher here, your host of the Law Abiding Biker podcast, and of course, your
high-tech redneck.
There he is. Lurch. Also taking up a seat on a mic right here for part 2 of 2. Popeye, thanks for being here. Thanks for riding down, making the trek. We had a lot of fun in part 1 of 2. And we're going to have just as much fun in part 2 of 2 here, guys. We've still got a lot to talk about. We made it up to day 4. We finished day 4. We're going to do 5 through 10. So make sure you listen to part 1 of 2 first, or a lot of this won't make sense because we're going to reference a lot of things. Just to reiterate, as I did in part 1, this was really a trip that was very much surrounding the Sworn Few Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, which many of us here at Law Abiding Biker Media are members of. And it was really to make it to Duluth, Minnesota, where we were to meet up with our brothers chapters from Maryland and Tennessee. It was kind of somewhat of a central location where everybody could ride, meet. Some of these guys we had met before, some we had never met in person or personally, only online. So it was a throttle down trip, destination trip. We didn't see a ton of cool roads, but as you'll see, we actually hit some unexpected things in an unexpected road that we'll talk about in this episode, and a whole bunch of other fun and debacles. Now, we'd like to mention new free videos. We put this out. This is the new Zero Dry Force waterproof cooler and travel bags for motorcycles. It's a review. lawabidingbiker.com/ and whatever episode number this is, or just go search the website, search bar, or the YouTube. It is a very high quality waterproof cooler made by Zero. We tested it on a day adventure ride, although it's made really to fit Harley-Davidson very well, the luggage racks and everything. We made it work on a KLR 650. We wanted it in the dust, dirt, and water and mud, and it performed very well. But head over and check that video out. Now, we love our sponsors, but these folks are also a direct reason that this episode is coming at you, along with episodes 9 years and going strong. I want to thank the following, some of our newest beloved patron members.
Oh, yeah. We want to thank Wes Vogues of Dripping Springs, Texas. That's a heck of a name, isn't it? Dripping Springs. James Bray of Kilauea, Hawaii. Noel Metakingi. Metakingi. He did not say where he was from.
Len Bongonia of Lowell, Indiana.
Burgonia.
Thank you. Tony Auckland of Bismark, North Dakota.
Just through Bismarck.
Yes, sir. And Eric Kruer of Branch, Michigan.
Finishing off, Doug French of Las Vegas, Nevada. Garth Stowe of Richland, Washington, or Stowe, not sure. Timothy Nelson of Portage, Wisconsin. And we're just through Wisconsin, too. Top tier, lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. Pledge a certain amount per piece of content. No risk to you. That's right, because you can simply put a monthly cap. Of course, there are benefits for signing up, such as t-shirts and stickers. You get access to the private Facebook group, which is a troll-free zone. Nothing but bikers helping bikers in there. Access to live video broadcasts and chat, podcasts early, and access to premium videos, and of course those ride meetup and events. And just like part 1 of 2 and 2 of 2 right here, you all patron members, mid-level and above, are going to get this literally months. We're going to put it out within the next couple days in your back end of the patron, and you can go to Patreon and listen again months before it will go out to the regular listening audience. That's just another way that we can serve you and tell you how much we thank you for being a beloved patron member and supporting us financially so we can continue to do what we do. There you go. So let's pick it back up. Popeye Lurch in the house here. We're going to pick it up at day 5, which was, we're in Duluth, Minnesota. We're staying at a VRBO about 15 minutes outside of Duluth. And day 5, we've got the Tennessee crew there. We got the Maryland crew. We just had a party at our VRBO the night before. It's fair to say that some of the guys were not doing so well on the morning of day 5.
And again, we mentioned in the previous episode, it was our elders.
Yes. I went to bed early, and not early, but I went to bed earlier.
You went to bed at a decent time.
Yes.
Locked your door like
Hell
a smart
yes, I did.
individual.
Yes.
The only downside of that was in the morning when I got up and needed to take a leak, all the bathrooms were being used. And
Lurch
your
was
door
looking for
locked.
some way to pick it.
If I would have found something I could have, because all you need is like a
Little pin.
I could have popped it in there and popped the door open. I finally just walked downstairs and walked out back and peed in the grass.
It's kind of like you can't bullshit a bullshitter. I fuck with people enough that I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but your door didn't lock on the other one, did it?
What other one?
When we were in Whitefish. Did you lock that one too? You didn't, because we walked in on you.
Yeah,
or
I
didn't.
lock
All
that one.
Must
Don't
have
jump
trusted us
ahead
at
there.
that point.
Don't jump
I'm just
ahead.
saying.
But you made a good decision locking that one.
Yeah, I did.
So
Even when I was in the shower, I'd lock the door.
Oh, that's a good idea. Asshole.
That's interesting. I wonder why you do that.
One of our last trips, I think it was the last trip. No, 2 trips ago, I was in the shower and all of a sudden a cold bucket of ice and water came over the top and you hear me scream like a little girl.
That made the film.
And so I really intended to do that to you back.
No shit.
But I forgot about it. And good thing you thought of it and locked your door, but I forgot actually.
No. Step ahead of the competition. That's how you win around here, Ryan.
Yeah,
man.
buddy.
Good man.
So we decided to rent a couple pontoon boats and go out as chapters together and do some brotherhood and some bonding. Ended up at a place called Spirit Lake Marina. I'm not going to highly recommend it.
It's a place to rent a boat.
It's a place to rent a boat. It's not a smooth process. They're not very automated. Very just a bit behind the times, I will say. They were pontoon boats. I will say that. They floated. Kinda. We'll talk about that. They had 50 horsepower motors. They were pretty old. Anyways, we finally got through the mess of renting them. I had reserved them, all 2 that they have. And so the Tennessee guys and Maryland kind of got on one, so to speak, and we got on the other. We had a couple other guys on the other one from our crew, or Washington crews. But
one boat, the capacity was 8, and the other one's 6. And the guy that was renting us the boat loaded us up 8 and 6, but he loaded us up backwards. He put 8 on the 6 boat and 6 on the 8 boat.
Yeah, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. Yeah, about this place. So, it was a beautiful day. Beautiful day.
Got super lucky.
Immediately noticed that the water is red. Now, Lurch likes to call it root beer brown. I can agree with that. It does look red. The entire lake. Now, I think Fuente asked the dude at Spirit Lake Marina.
Yeah, what's up with this shit?
What's up with the red water? And the guy told him that it's fine and that you can swim in it and it's good quality water. And if you do fish in it, just don't eat too many of the fish. But he did say that.
You can eat fish, just not too many.
Just not too many. I don't know. Now I will tell you, and I know Popeye is too. I'm an app. You do more fishing. I do a ton of water sports with my family. I take them out on our ski boat, and I'm a squid. I swim a lot. I love swimming. But the lakes around here are not red. And I was I'll get in them if they're a little green, like Moses Lake. That's fine. And maybe the water was fine. But a lot of the guys swam. I refused to jump in this water. I'm not going to lie to you. Mm-hmm. Papa, you refused to, didn't you?
I did not get in, but it wasn't because of the color of the water. It was just because it was freezing ass cold, and I didn't.
Yeah, but you got in Whitefish, and it was freezing ass cold.
That's true, but it was hotter that day too.
Yeah,
that and you never saw me jump off the boat though either. The only reason I got in the water in Whitefish,
so the jet ski. I did dive off.
Yeah,
it was refreshing. But so the water's brownish, and some of the guys swam, and I'm sure it's fine. They say that it's some sort of red clay in the water that makes it do that. However, I'm a little skeptical. As we cruised the shores of that area of Lake Superior, there was mill after mill and different industrial. Right. And I call bullshit that they didn't pump a whole bunch of shit into that lake over the years.
Oh yeah, and they all look like they'd probably been built, 30s, 40s, 50s. Yep. That the ecology was at the highest, utmost forefront of their thinking and their building and what they were doing back then. And so, you may not want to eat a lot of the fish.
So I was a little sketched out by that and the water. I was like, I don't know that I really need to swim in this.
They're processing a lot of iron ore and whatnot there, and then that stuff got shipped out to like Pittsburgh. And I'm looking at a Google map. You can see the freaking color of the water. Look at that shit, Popeye.
But the government says it's just the red clay. So I don't know that I am totally in tune with that.
It's probably fine.
I don't buy it.
I don't know. We're just so lucky around here with the nice lakes we have, clean lakes and clean rivers that don't look like that. I don't know that I would even want a house on that lake because of that. But did you look up why Lake Superior is red?
Oh, I'll Google it.
Actually, Google why it's root beer brown. That'll be
the Lake Superior is not as we saw.
What's the name of that lake again?
So there's Spirit Lake,
yep.
And then there's then the St. Louis River. You can really see it in Pokegama Bay. Jesus, look at the color of that thing. Mm-hmm. It's nasty. But I'll look at that right now and give you a report.
All right. So boat day on Lake Superior. Let's see. Yes, you're right. They did put, I think the pontoon boat that the guys rode, the other pontoon boat was a little bit overloaded. Because
as they will admit, they've got some
big guys,
large humans.
That's the thing.
These weren't tritoons; these were pontoons. Right?
Even when you say, it's like you can put 6 people on there. There's those dudes are pretty big.
Exactly.
Maybe you should only put 4 or 5. Right. Like loaded, and then when you put 8, it gets a little heavy.
It was quite a fun time hanging out. I got some great drone shots of Duluth from the boat. A lot of drinking went on, and we had food on the boat. And I will say that Mouse was on their boat, and I did get an interview afterwards for Mouse. And there was a few times he definitely thought they were gonna sink the boat. We personally witnessed the front end of that boat go all the way under the water and take on water up over the top a couple times. In fact, Joker suddenly walked up to the front of the boat and all of his glory, and he's a big boy, put the front nose weight over the limit clearly, and so much water came up over the top, he actually fell in, in the front of the boat. So we were glad he was not injured. I think he got scraped up a little bit, but that was the time Mouse was for sure that was not coming back. He was ready to bail.
Yeah.
And he doesn't swim.
He's stuck in the front, and we can't get the weight out of the front. We're screwed. It's going to keep on sinking is probably what he thought. Huh?
I shouldn't say he doesn't swim. He just doesn't like the
Mouse
water.
Doesn't?
Well, we asked him on the boat. Yeah, and he never got in. Did you notice either time?
Huh, I did not notice.
Yeah, I think he maybe swims. He just doesn't like the water, maybe. Kind of like Lurch. All right. He's looking it up still.
Yeah, actually, there's not much on it.
Right, see, it's a government conspiracy. I'm telling you, they're covering that shit up, dude. I'm telling you. It's government conspiracy. Oh, it's fine. It's just let's not talk about it. Get it off Google. Yeah. Delete it all.
Mostly that has to do with, like you said, the red clay. Red clay is exposed to the downslope from the overlook.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, I looked over here at the end of the last podcast, and he's got Alaska up and Canada up. I guess if we're going to be riding up there.
Mm-hmm.
I just had the map up as we were talking along, looking at things, and then I kind of wandered up towards Alaska just to see how far that would be to ride.
I will hint it with next year. We're probably going north or south.
Yeah, north or
one
south.
way or the other.
One or the other. Yeah. We can't go very far west.
No.
But
and we've been east a lot.
We've been east, so we're either going north or south. Due south or due north.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so now we had a good time, and it will be on the documentary, but I decided that I would ask Joker, who you don't have to dare very much or twist his arm to get him to do something. And at the pier there's a concrete wall right in next to Duluth. And there's lots of tourists out there taking pictures. In fact, there's a lighthouse you can walk to right there. There were some ladders that go down to the water. Clearly, in case somebody jumps in, they can climb back up out of the water there. And I saw a tourist up there, and I decided that I would dare Joker to jump off the boat, swim to the ladder, and go up the ladder and talk to one of the tourists, and which didn't take very long. And he was in the water, and I forget what he said. I'm coming to see you.
Coming to see you, pretty boy.
Pretty boy. He pointed at the guy. I don't know. I don't think the guy heard him or he would have ran. But the tourist guy, just stood there, and I think he kind of watched in disbelief of what was going on. He bailed out of the boat, swam over there, and his crack half out of his pants, and climbed up, and in fact, got a picture. Got a picture with
his arm around him.
With what?
With his arm around him.
Oh yeah, with his arm around him. Yeah, soaking wet.
Yes,
with a tourist, and that will likely make the documentary film. And there was a lot of other debacles besides that, but that was one of the funnier moments.
That was at Canal Park.
Canal Park, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm. No, it's pretty cool in there. I mean, like if you wanted to,
right by the aerial lift bridge.
That right in the downtown area there. This is kind of just off the downtown where all the big buildings are and stuff. But that seems to be maybe more of a tourist area. There's a lot of restaurants, kind of some nice pubs that were down in there. Because in the back of my mind, I was throwing around mooring up on the side there. But the only thing is, we had brought food, we brought beer, so there's really no need for us to go in there and spend triple the amount when we were already on the boat, and we could just have some beers out on the boat and whatnot. But in this area, a lot of fun because we made our way up the river miles. I mean, we're where we rented from were miles and miles up the river, and then the whole time you got to stay in this channel. It can get pretty shallow on either side if you get outside of the channel where it's been dredged out. So when you get down to this area that we're talking about where Joker jumped off of the boat and got up onto the pier, like I said, if a guy wanted to moor up in that area, it would be kind of fun because, like I said, then you could go right up and have lunch or, beers or dinner or whatever the hell. There's a bunch of restaurants right in that area, and it'd be kind of a fun place just to get off for a bit if you wanted to.
Yeah, definitely.
And then if you wanted to venture outside, let's say if you had a boat that was capable of doing that and there were no restrictions on doing so, then you could go underneath the bridge and actually go out.
You could go out past that lighthouse we saw from a distance.
Yes,
right.
And underneath the bridge that we also saw from a distance, but we weren't allowed to go underneath.
That would be the aerial lift bridge.
Yeah,
bridge.
And we weren't allowed to go under the aerial lift bridge and go out and see where the city is out inside of Lake Superior and the larger buildings and whatnot, and kind of the beach that's around that area, but we weren't allowed to do any of that type of stuff
per the rental boat contract.
Right.
Yes. And now with that said, we had a ball out there, and a lot. It was good hanging
Not
time.
on Lake Superior, inside of the bridge.
Inside, of course, just in the Bay Area there, or canal, whatever you called it, canal something. So we were actually. We had the boats for a bit, but we decided we had enough fun, and we were off the water about 3. The other boat not running so well. They're not. I mean, in the first place,
getting worked.
It was getting worked.
Yeah, and at capacity.
Might have been firing off just a couple cylinders, and I think Joker had that one on his credit card, and I guess the guy was kind of giving him that they should have called. instead of drove it in.
Instead of limping it back in.
But that's between them. I don't think he was very happy about that. Joker. That'll be a conversation they have to have. But anyways, so we went to Duluth Harley-Davidson Power Sports, because Oscar needed to get parts that he had broke, but from cone slapping.
Yeah, he needed a grill for the lower fairing, the front of the lower fairing. That's what he really wanted, to protect that radiator. He wasn't able to get the cover that snaps on the back, but he got the important part.
Yep, good. And of course, while we were there, we all got our Harley taxed T-shirts and whatnot. And it's kind of a cool dealership as far as the decor. I talked to the owner. You'll see it in the documentary film. I got an interview with him. His dad actually started it, and he actually had old motorcycles that his dad owned, old Harleys, and one with a sidecar that he used to ride with when he was a boy. And anyways, I get in a lot more depth. That interview will probably make the documentary. So we broke off from there back to the VRBO for dinner with the chapters, a second night of dinner. But let me tell you, a lot of the guys were hurting from the night before, and a lot of them were hurting a bit after the boat ride.
Not this guy.
Some of them were VRBO'd to the boat.
Made good choices, didn't we?
They knew that they were going to drink, so they VRBO'd to the boat, and that gave them free rein to do what they wanted, and they certainly did.
I'm on Fireball.
I'm on Fireball. Oh God,
That's you know that song?
I think no, maybe not.
It's a song.
Is it
Pitbull.
Pitbull?
Pitbull.
So yeah, they we went back to the VRBO dinner with the chapters. What do I have there? Red's Bar had pulled back.
Oh yeah, so Red's.
Oh, Red's Bars. Yeah. Talk about some of that. We had some.
Oh yeah.
We found a lot of mechanical things going on.
Yeah. So first off, Red's from Baltimore chapter. At some point was a couple days prior or something, right? His bars had slid back on him.
He probably had some 14-inch probably.
Yeah.
Tapes on there because he has a Batwing fairing bike and he's up over the fairing.
Yeah, and then his bike's got to be it's pre-15, so his
was like a 13, I believe.
13-ish. Okay. So Oscar helped out with his that little project, getting the bars tightened up. Well, Lurch was over helping me with mine because I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, hey Lurch, I forgot to tell you about this. And on my left-hand side of the bar, you could move it just a hair, and it would just maybe a quarter inch of play or something like that. It would just bounce around a little bit. And so immediately Lurch was the optimist that he is. And he's like, well, let's just see if it's loose. And Ryan's over there going, it's broken.
It's broken.
Yeah,
it's broke.
I was hoping maybe that your clamp is loose on the left side, but not the case.
Yeah. So anyway, we got Red's tightened up. He was good to go. Rode all the way back. Hasn't had a problem since, from what I understand. And then mine, once we got the fairing tore off. Lurch is pretty quick with that stuff. He's done.
You
so
had the
many
fairing
bars.
tore off?
Yeah, Lurch took.
Well,
How did we do all that? Because we weren't at a shop.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. There's actually a pretty cool set of tools that really helps
really?
out with that. And we didn't bring like a toolbox with us. Do you know what we brought with us?
I don't know.
Cruise tool set.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that from the Law Abiding Biker store?
It is. You can find it.
RTH3, is that right?
RTH3. And then Oscar used the teardrop version.
Yes.
The smaller teardrop version. Yes.
You can get all kinds of stuff accomplished with that.
Literally took it out, took the boom box out, got all the way down to your bars with the Cruise tools kits, guys. That would have been an expensive dealership visit. Number one, it might have delayed your trip because they might have not been able to get you in.
True.
And you would be stuck back. No need to get stranded over repairs like that, guys. If you're traveling, it's just insane not to have the Cruise tools kit. So there you go. We popped them out and tore bikes apart right in the driveway.
And then you would also help you out is if you were a Patreon member and you didn't know how to do that little project. Boy, you could get in and find out even how to do bars and how to tear off your fairing and everything else. So you just get right in your Patreon account, figure out how to tear off the fairing, get to them bars.
Yep. Our top tier patrons get premium videos up on request.
But I had the guy who actually does those videos with me, so I just was like, Lurch, get into there.
Yeah, right. While you drank.
I paid him. I paid him with Coors Light.
Yeah, right.
So I kept bringing him Coors Light, make sure he was satisfied. Yeah. And nice and cool.
After the third time I dropped something on his fender, I covered it with a towel.
Yeah.
Did I tell you this? So I'm filming, and I know how to take these bikes apart too, but I'm filming, and I'm getting all the shots, and Lurch has your bike all torn apart, and Lurch is like, hey, there's 2 bolts over there, dude. I have no freaking clue where they go back. And I go,
I had everything organized. I don't know if I move something around. I'm like, where do those?
Oh no, it gets better. It gets better. So I asked Lurch, so I start looking at him at the bolts, and we've taken apart a lot. And I finally figure, I'm like, dude, I think those go in the gauges. Yep. And I'm like, dude, you've taken this apart 1,000 times. How the fuck do you forget where those bolts go? He goes, well, it's because I'm drunk. So straight up, I go, you put these back. He goes, yeah, but I usually don't do it when I'm drunk. I was like, fair enough. All right, I get it.
Yeah.
So all your bolts are back in Popeye, by the way.
Right. Yeah. No, they got put in that day. So
sure.
Yeah, it was nice. So like I said, we were sitting in front of the VRBO while we were doing this and drinking, and figured, hey, well, may as well fix our screw ups here, right? Mm-hmm. Our shit that's broken. So yeah, like I say, pulled off the fairing, pulled out the boom box, and got her all the way down to where the bars clamp on, and found that I had a weld in the bars that were broken, and it was broken right where they clamp down, and there is a smaller. It's smaller, and then it goes into a larger portion of the bars, and that area there now it probably slips inside of there a ways is what we figured, so it couldn't exactly just fall off.
Got an insert.
It's got an insert. So like the road glides, they don't neck down at the clamps. It's an 1.25 inch all the way through. The Batwing fairings at the clamp, it's 1 inch, and so they use a 1 inch bar, and you have what they might refer to as chubby bars. They're 1.25 inch bars, but they do have to neck down at the clamp, and there's a weld on that insert, and I think it was just probably the top side of that weld broke. Didn't think it was going to slide off, but it definitely had a lot of wiggle. So we came up with an ingenious way to repair it.
Absolutely.
I don't know if it was ingenious.
Oh, well, it worked.
It worked. Got them on.
We're sitting there trying to figure out what the hell to do, if it's going to hold or not. And Indian John, in all his wisdom, he's done a lot of repairs apparently with JB Weld.
Yeah.
And so he starts coming up with some ideas of JB Weld, different stuff he could do with it or whatever. And so places were closing early. Luckily, like I said, I had been making good decisions on the boat all day.
Yep.
So I was able to jump on a bike and ran down to the hardware store and picked up some JB Weld, and then bombed back. Sturgis Jeff was lucky enough fortunate, nice enough to let me borrow his bike, and took off down to the hardware store on that. So as we're doing that, now I'm like, well, shit, I need to order another set of bars because these things are broken. Trying to figure out what I need to do and where my where I bought them from, and I asked Lurch, I'm like, well, shit, you think we could just because they're about $300 or whatever for a set of bars, right? And obviously that's not the work being done, but here at Lab do the work ourselves. But I'm thinking, it'd be nice not to spend $300 if I don't have to spend $300. And so I'm like, hey, could we just weld this back together? And he's like, yeah, shit, yeah. That's it has to be a tight weld because of where the clamps are. But if it was a tight weld, it'd probably be just as strong. However, at the same time, Squid's over there on his phone researching my bars, because I don't delete a lot of emails that are actually not just bullshit emails. And so I had I bought them through JP Cycles, and they are KST bars, so custom KST customs bars. And he goes, dude, you got a frickin' lifetime warranty on those bars. And so, no shit. And so while I'm dealing with that, he pulls up KST Customs webpage for me, finds out who I need to email. And as Lurch is putting my bike back together, and Indian John is JB welding it over there, I send out messages. There's a list on the, or there's 2 guys to contact on their website. So I'm not sure if this is a smaller company or these are just the 2 dudes who deal with it or what. But I end up sending an email to Rhett Tollison and Brett Kent at KST Customs, and I would bet you within 10 minutes. Now this is like,
they're smaller if they did that.
Yeah, this is like 7:00 at night or some damn thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey guys, I said I'm on a ride from Washington. I'm currently in Minnesota, and my bars just broke. And so both of them are emailing me independently. One of them got back to me within, like I said, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, some damn thing, right? The other guy was a few hours later. And then I'd started emailing with both of them. I'm like, well, shit, now I got to be careful that one of them, making sure that they're talking to each other and I don't get 2 sets of bars sent out. But one of them asked me, he's like, hey, he goes, you want us to overnight them to where you're staying in Minnesota so you can, get them on your bike in Minnesota. And I know, I think we got it fixed or I can get it back to Washington. Had them sent to the lab shop here. And like we were saying in the last podcast, we have literally been home a day. We got home the day before yesterday. So yesterday was a down day. Today I rode down here to the studio, and they're sitting on Ryan's door. So, they made it home basically at the same time that we did it. The 3 or 4 days of shipping, they had them shipped out the next morning. I woke up at like 5:30 in the morning because I was making good decisions the day before. And I had an email. Like I keep referencing that.
Good decisions.
I've made some bad decisions.
Yep. Yeah, right.
The guy sleeping in. And so, besides, you can't sip whiskey. You got to drink it, Lurch.
Oh,
and so,
bam.
Already had an email that morning. Your product's already been shipped.
Nice.
And these guys are an hour ahead. They're in Georgia. So, like I say, even when they were emailing me the day before at 7:30, whatever it was, that's 8:30, Georgia time. And then one of them emailed me back later, which was probably 10 o'clock at night. And then, like I said, the next morning, they've got that shit already shipped out. So, guys, KST Customs isn't like it's some Amazon knockoff company. They're good bars. Shit does break occasionally. That's just what happens with products. Obviously, a great warranty on their product. Had them no charge to me whatsoever, no questions asked. I sent them off a picture of my invoice from JP Cycles that I still had. I took some pictures when Lurch had it off, showed him where it was broken. Like I said, no questions asked. Had them sent out to me. Exact same bars.
There you go, guys. No affiliation with that company. That's just a shout out because they backed their bars and took care of Popeye.
That's right.
If you are going to get those KST
little
bars,
toast to you boys over there at KST.
there you go. Right here. So if you guys do want to get those bars through JMP Cycles, don't forget to hit up our banner page, lawabidingbiker.com/banners, BANNERS. We have a JMP Cycles banner among other banners over there. If you click through and then purchase anything such as those bars, we do get a small commission, no additional cost to you. And that was great. Companies standing by their products. And I would definitely say they're smaller a bit to have that kind of customer service, because we kind of have that kind of customer service. And you can only do that when you care and know your product very well, and you stand by your product. So good deal. It was funny because everybody was beat, especially the guys that overdid it the night before and overdid it that day. And we had our hamburgers and dogs, and everybody was off. The Maryland guys left, the Tennessee guys, and we were in bed early for once, and it felt effing good.
That was the first night where we actually got some sleep, wasn't it?
Yeah. In bed at 9:30, and everybody was just feeling it. We knew we still had quite a trip ahead of us. And with that said, we'll jump into day 6 and keep moving on here. You want to try this again, Popeye?
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Take
Bikeaholic.
two.
Oh, yeah. Try this again from the last one. Hey, Bikeaholics, searching for new and exciting motorcycle products? Cyril 3D has the products you dream about for your bike. Check out their wide variety of innovative products for Harley-Davidson Honda Goldwing motorcycles. Cyril 3D's got your back with chrome and black parts, lighting, and other comfort products. No modifying, cutting, grinding, or welding for an easy installation. That equals less time installing and more time riding, Bikeaholics. Cyril 3D has a design team of over 40 years of experience with a passion for design and innovation. Cyril Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. They pride themselves on great customer service. Got a question? Get in touch with them via email at sales@cyril3d.com or give them a call at 715-808-0027. Check out your local Harley or Honda dealership and ask for Cyril or Gold Strike products. A new leader has emerged, Bikeaholics. So check out our Cyril 3D's custom line of Gold Strike products for the all-new Gold Wings. Better yet, help support us and head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and check out our full line of Cyril 3D products.
That was perfect. The music ended right
Nailed
at the
it.
end of the commercial.
Isn't that weird?
That's an ongoing
timing.
joke
Good
between
timing.
Lurch. If you didn't know that, Popeye bust his balls because one time he said that. He goes, "Oh man, I nailed that. The music ended right when I ended the commercial." I'm going, "That's because I'm hitting the slider down and ending the music."
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so we tell him, "Well, hey, that was perfect."
I stumbled a little bit, and I thought I was not going to make it, so I was trying to speed up. I didn't realize he's over there just killing it right at the
So
end.
we're just bust his balls about it now. I think Fuente was, it was
It was
Fuente that was
Fuente,
on.
yeah.
So we're screwing around. All right. So, we're going into day number 6. Now, this is Duluth, Minnesota. And actually, let me look on this document right here. Duluth, Minnesota to Minot is how I.
Via the Great Northern Highway.
No, the great.
I don't know how great it was.
It was northern and it was a highway.
I'm glad to say that I did it. Mm-hmm. I just don't think I'll ever do it again.
You know,
It's got.
I don't want to get too early. Let's discuss it and we can come back.
All right.
8-hour saddle time, 473 miles, 0800 kickstands up. And so they do call it the Great Northern Highway. It's Highway 2. And you can go for all the way into Washington on Highway 2 from there. And I concur with Lurch a little bit. It was not great. It was northern and it was a highway.
All right, well, let's talk about it now then.
Yeah, go for it.
So
we're in it.
I just talked to somebody here the other, and I believe if I remember right, Highway 2 goes from Washington State. It actually starts over in the Everett area. Starts in Everett, and then I think it ends in Chicago. Is that correct?
I will look.
I was just saying, I was talking to a buddy. It's actually my friend there in Whitefish, and saying, man, I don't know another way I guess I would go. It's, would you rather go out and ride 2 lanes each direction, 2 lanes going the same direction, so a 4-lane highway, or would you rather get on something like Highway 2 where we did not have much truck traffic, just as nice of a road.
That was nice. Very little traffic.
Yeah, get the hell away from the traffic and the trucks. It's not any less scenic than the highway is, the interstate.
Right.
So,
and there's a lot of different sections.
Yeah.
Because on our last day, we'll talk about, was actually pretty.
Oh, yeah.
But that's such a long highway, I guess we can't judge it from the sections that we rode. There are some boring sections and some fun sections.
So if you're going back there, I guess, like I said, this is probably a pretty good route to take.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I agree. We shouldn't compare it to some of the awesome roads we've been on, but it was better than the freeway, I admit. Just that first part wasn't that great. We are spoiled
in the Northwest of we've got these big ass mountains.
Yeah.
Even the the Baltimore guys were saying, they're like, boy, we don't have a lot of roads that go through the mountains or huge curves and crap like that. Like shit. They
see my documentary films are like, holy cow! Right? Some guys I would love to ride there. Yeah, because they're so flat where they are from.
I mean, just for me riding over Butte Pass today. I mean, that is a decent sized pass with a lot of curves. Yeah, big mountains and stuff like that, and we just take it for granted because we ride them all the time. You just kind of forget that a lot of these areas of the country, or look at Minnesota when we were there at Duluth.
Yep,
we were all laughing at their ski hill.
Right. Yeah,
it's that's like the bunny slope.
That's
here.
Cute.
Yeah, that's cute. Yeah, it doesn't have any elevation to it, and so a lot of the country just does not have the mountains like we do back here, and that we're just like I say so used to being able to ride.
The old Cascade.
The Great Northern Route actually goes from Seattle Everett area all the way to Maine, but it looks like it's not all Highway 2. It kind of goes up and over into Canada and then back down. So
Thank you.
But I will find out where Highway 2 ends.
Good information. Yeah. Thank you.
So yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, a lot better way to go than what we took on the way out. Just something different. Like I said, get away from the trucks, and that's just kind of nice, man, to get away from all the other traffic and not be traveling with what all the cagers are. Just getting down the highway. You get to see more. And for me, it's like riding with the Midwest, as some of the guys were. Just didn't think it was that scenic. I am always enthralled with every bit of America that we go through, from just the rolling cornfields or the flat cornfields, or through Texas, just through the flat parts of Texas, like we're coming into
New Mexico. Remember that?
Yeah, where was the eating challenge in Amarillo?
Yeah,
it's just flat coming into there. To me, all that stuff is beautiful. It's just different,
right?
Yeah,
but to be able, and it's
agreed.
Is it one that I want to ride every day? No. But for me, like I said, it's to get out here and see the, United States, see these great United States of America. I don't understand these people that haven't seen this awesome country. and they want to go overseas and go visit somewhere else, it's like, boy, see your own country first.
Yeah.
And that's what's so cool about
There's
what we've
a
been
ton
doing
here.
because of this club. I've ridden every state west of the Mississippi, I think, except for 2. I think it's Louisiana and Arkansas are the only 2 we have not ridden that are west of the Mississippi now.
Yeah,
My geography
it's awesome.
is correct.
Yeah, Louisiana would be fun.
Yeah. So
You need to get a map in here and
Right?
pin everywhere we've been. They make those maps. I'm
No
going to do
shit.
that.
Yeah, it's a good
It'd be
idea.
fun, huh?
Our
Yeah.
next artwork for the wall.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a lot of fun to be able to get out and, like I said, just see places. And we've now been talking about. I know Tennessee has some awesome writing from what our chapters got there, and then we've got some patrons in Tennessee that post stuff, and we've got some people on the East Coast, like up around Maine or whatever would probably be cool. But one of these days, we're just gonna have to either get one of these retired guys, Lurch,
Yeah.
to or a couple of the retired guys to frickin' get like a U-Haul and put a big ass frickin' trailer behind it and take all our bikes out
Yeah.
east, and we can fly out and meet them,
Yep.
or we go and rent them from like an Eagle Rider or something and then just be able to go, because it's so hard to get that time off.
That's the problem.
Yeah, it's not the
Yep.
ride, it's just the frickin' we don't have the
We'd
time.
ride it, no problem.
Yeah, it
It's
takes
just-
us 5
yeah.
days to get out, and 5 days back, whatever. Shit, there's 10 days right
Yep,
there.
that's our
And-
whole trip.
Exactly.
This trip, yeah.
So, it's just tough to get all that time off.
Yeah.
But so anyway, back to this route. For me, like I said, it's another piece of America that you get to go see, and checkbox it and say, yeah, I've seen it. Is there stuff that's better? Yeah. But like I said, I enjoyed going through there and, just the rolling hills or the farmlands and stuff like that. I thought it was all awesome.
Yeah.
So I always appreciate it.
Yeah. No, well said. I agree. And definitely with your point about us being spoiled here, but I do like seeing all that. It's different from what we ride all the time around here. So otherwise we wouldn't be doing it. We appreciate it for what it is. Some of the days can get long, but that's okay. We're still on our motorcycles, knees in the breeze, riding with brothers. So nothing wrong with that.
Highway 2 appears to end in St. Ignace, Ignace, Michigan.
Okay.
It's the last I can find it anyways, right here at the top.
There you go.
So not too far from Chicago.
Good. Thanks for looking that up, Lurch. We stopped. It's 95 degrees now. Of course, we've been rained on and pissed on for a lot of days. It's been cold. Now we're going to get back into the heat. And so 95 degrees riding. We stopped for lunch at the 805 Speedway Bar and Grill in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Now, Sturgis Jeff's cousin is a lieutenant with a area police department there. And he met us there in uniform. He bought us all our meals, which was amazing. He also came with gifts to include patches and pepperoni sticks and beef jerky for all of us. Good food. So yeah, thank you so much for that. That was amazing. Did not have to do that. The 805 Speedway Grill kind of has a race car / airplane theme. Good food, good service, and I recommend it if you're in the Grand Forks, North Dakota area. You guys have anything else on that?
No, it was just hot. I mean, getting into there.
Especially after the cold weather we'd been in.
We're not
Right.
acclimated, yeah.
No.
That's pretty awesome that he met us down there. Like you said, Sturgis Jeff's, cousin and stuff like that, meet us down there and just to pull the tab for that. I mean, that's amazing.
9 guys. Yeah. Amazing.
Yep.
Pretty darn cool.
Jeff stayed behind and visited with them for a few hours, and then he went up, and he grew up in that area. So he went up, took a little loop, went by where his parents' place was, his
That's right.
grandparents' place. And when he rolled in, because he was behind us, we beat that thunderstorm. He did not.
No,
He did not.
No, he did not.
So we all arrived at the Holiday Inn Express in Minot, North Dakota, somewhere around 6:15 p.m. Popeye needed to keep his muscles in shape and went to the gym. His
Continuing
sexy muscles.
Continuing to make good decisions. I tell you, this is the good decisions tour.
It is not the good decisions tour. We've
For
already
some.
talked why that. Yeah, just like usual. For some it is. For some it's not. The rest of us went to dinner at the Whiskey 9 Bar and Grill. We Ubered up there. Everybody was beat. In fact, we were in the lobby and Fuente.
So you got ahead because you guys weren't back yet. Is this after you came back from?
No,
No,
we're
this is
just on our
before
way.
on our way to
Okay.
Whiskey 9.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all right. So we Fuente looked at me and he's like, and Fuente's done iron butt stuff, and it was a beat beat down day with the heat and the amount of miles we put on and lack of sleep up till this point. And he's just like, I don't give a shit. I am not, because we contemplated riding up there, and he's like, I don't give a shit. I'll pay for everybody's Uber. I'm not fucking riding. I go, thanks for being honest, bro. Thanks for being honest. And he's an iron butter.
Yeah.
And I go, if you can't, then
that's a dude that rode from home to Kansas City, Missouri.
Exactly.
Straight through. Like 1,500 miles.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. If he says it, I'm like, fair enough.
You know what that dude needs? A butt buffer.
He does need a butt buffer. Absolutely. Because he's standing all the time.
Other thing is it was frickin' 98 degrees. If you didn't say that.
I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
I said it was hot
than
as shit the whole ride.
Yeah.
That day.
Came in there just sweating.
Beat us down. Beat us down.
Yeah. That'll kill you. You know, it's like when we went to Cali last year, you know, riding out on the coast, you could ride all damn day, get there refreshed. That heat absolutely just takes it out of you.
Yep.
Takes it out of you.
It does. And yeah, especially since we weren't acclimated to it back home yet, like we usually would have been acclimated somewhat, but we weren't. So, the Whiskey 9 bar and grill is really cool.
Yeah, it is.
It's golf themed. It has an upstairs, a downstairs. There was live music downstairs. The menu's good. There's golf there, virtual golf. So they have a whole thing. There's miniature golf in the downstairs. There's a couple different bays upstairs and downstairs where you could do the virtual golf. It was just great. It was a fun environment. The staff there was awesome, and we're really appreciative of us filming it and putting it on the channel. I would highly suggest live guitar player and singer. We had a ball, and the food was good, and we just kicked back, had some cold ones, and we were in bed at about 11 p.m. that night. Called it a night, huh?
So
Squid had a smoked old fashioned.
Yeah, that's
his first
right.
time having that. So if you've never had a smoked old fashioned, they'll make your drink and
Delicious.
then they put it on a platter with
theatrics.
It's a bit
That's
of
what
theatrics.
Lurch says. It's theatrics.
They taste. You can taste it.
A little bit. And then they shoot some
Well,
smoke
if
in
they
there and they
make
let
it-
it sit for a little bit and
Nah,
then bring
if
it
they
out and
make
they
it-
take the thing off and smoke goes
We've got a
everywhere.
discerning opinion
Yeah,
here.
if they make a good one, it actually smokes your drink pretty good. So some places will make them different. They just smoke the glass.
It's lipstick on a
Go
pig.
get a good one. Go get a good one. I was down in Vegas, went to Trump Tower and got one.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me this.
That one had MAGA in it, so it was good.
Yeah, you're right. It was probably like $45. I mean, something stupid, right?
Yeah.
But I figured, shit, I'm not in Vegas very much. I'm not in Trump Tower ever, so I figured, fuck it, I'll pay the price. But it comes out in this cedar box, and they smoke the shit out of it. Like you look into the box, and you can't even hardly see your drink in there. It is so smoky, and that's where the drink is absorbing some of that smoke. And you just leave it in there for a while. You can leave it in there as long as you want. Just leave the box on the table. And then when you're ready to pull it out, then you can pull it out. And it's like I say, it's absorbed some of that flavor. And then it's pretty good. But some of the ones, if they just bring it out and open the cage right away and let all the smoke out, because I've had that too. Not as good.
Not as good. And they just kind of fan it and send the smoke out everywhere. It's a bit of theatrics. They did have some different woods, though. I know he had two of them. One of them was with the oak, and then he tried pecan the second time.
So, like Ryan was saying, I went and worked out, and then I just went across the street from the hotel, went over to Buffalo Wild Wings, and came back out after eating just a light dinner there, and it is absolutely freaking dumping rain. I mean, complete downpour, about pea-sized, actually bigger than that, bigger than pea-sized hail coming down. And I'm like, well, I got nowhere to be. I can sit here and wait for this storm to pass through, right? Because I'm looking at my Doppler, and I can see I'm right on the edge of it. You know, the storm's going east. I can see where the blue sky's at that's coming. I'm like, screw it. I'll sit here and stand for 5-10 minutes, whatever it takes. And that's about all it took, 5-10 minutes, and then storm passed. It'd been raining most of the time I was in there. And go walking back across the street to the hotel, and Sturgis had just pulled in, and he was unloading his bike. And I look across the street, and who do I see? Frickin' Chuck Highway Wilburn.
Oh yeah.
The highwayman.
The highwayman, yep. And so, yeah, it's kind of funny.
He's a patron member, if you guys don't know,
Yeah, I see
from
him.
the Minot area.
Yep, see him standing there like, highway, what are you doing? And he goes, I live here. No shit.
Yeah.
So he knew we were in town, but he was driving somewhere, and he happened to see Sturgis riding through the frickin' storm because he saw his cut. And yeah, Jeff was like, shit, he got drenched. He'd put on his rain gear, obviously, so he was dry, but he was riding through the middle of that storm that we were able to all miss. And so I sat there and bullshitted with Chuck because he saw all the bikes in front of the hotel too and realized that was our crew. So he pulled in and we bullshitted for a while. And I was beat, like you're saying, from the heat. I knew you guys were only a couple minutes back. You're on your way in the Uber coming back. So I told him, I'm heading to bed, but hang out. Those guys will be back in just a minute or two if you want to bullshit with them for a little bit. And so he just happened to stumble upon us.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah, it was good talking to him. So yeah, that's kind of how we ended the night, chatting with him, and then out in the parking lot. And then we were all, I think he could tell we were beat, tired, and all wanted to get into bed. So
and he was getting up the next morning to head to Colorado.
Oh, that's right. It was a motorcycle trip, right? Yeah, that's what he picked
he's
this
out on
year.
his motorcycle, yeah.
That's the trip that he picked. So, all right, we're gonna dive into day 7 here. Let's do this real quick, Lurch.
Are you searching for the easiest and quickest detachable luggage system for your motorcycle? Rick Rack has just what you're looking for.
Rick Rack.
Forget all those frustrating straps and bungee cords that can come loose and slap your paint. Check out one of Rick Rack's awesome quick attach strapless luggage rack systems. This father and son team designed something really special that you can't find anywhere else. Yep, these guys ride, so they truly understand the needs of bikers. The Rick Rack quick attach system is strong, durable, and secure with a lockable system. Also, check out their full line of quality touring bags to accompany your quick detach system. Once you use a Rick Rack, you'll never go back. What are you waiting for, bikeaholics? Head on over to Law Abiding Biker Store and check out our full line of Rick Rack systems and bags. lawabidingbiker.com/store.
There you go. And
the music ended a little quick on that one.
Yeah, well, you didn't time it. You didn't time it right. You were better at timing it.
I was a little slow on that one.
Rick Rack guys, we use those extensively on this trip. Our newest version is the roller bag with rack. It is amazing. Off and on your bike in 10 seconds when you get to a destination and you leave that location. You can get loaded up, unloaded very quickly. If you order lawabidingbiker.com/store, we have them in stock, ready to ship to you. They're put together, no assembly required. Very high quality bag. Comes with a rain cover because we use that quite a bit. Keep all your stuff dry, and it's just an awesome setup. So you'll see those bags rolling in the documentary film. So day 7, diving in. It's time to leave Duluth.
Minot.
Minot. We didn't say, the guys, when we left Duluth, of course, Tennessee and Maryland departed ways. We said our goodbyes. We didn't mention that. They weren't with us once we left Duluth. So, yeah. So
before I forget, so this morning, Ryan, I was at the gym and frickin', like I say, some of these things just pop up in my head sometimes of what the hell can, what would this Patreon's member name be for
like a road name?
Yeah, road name. Yeah, There you go. Exactly. And Terry McDonough, who works down in Antarctica all the time as a welder, we're going to call that dude the frickin' Penguin.
I like it.
Yeah.
Sold.
Just call him Penguin. No, you don't have to call him the Penguin, but he's just Penguin.
Terry, you are now Penguin. If you guys don't know, I did a couple episodes with Terry. He's a
super good dude.
Lives in Oregon, and he also came up here free of charge and put metal covers over the Law Abiding Biker shop workbenches that you'll see in many of our videos. So yeah, he does welding. Yep.
Why did you need those metal covers over your wooden workbench?
Just because he offered and it was cool. And because Oscar spills oil and soaks into my wood. I didn't want to call Oscar out right away. I had to sort of sugarcoat it a little bit.
Nice. It's kind of funny how like we were talking about this, even like with the Maryland guys is you guys are better with first names. I am terrible with names. I'm terrible with names at work.
So am I.
Yeah, I lose patrons and members' names and stuff. I'm terrible with names. So I'm actually a lot better with nicknames, road names and stuff. For some reason, I can't remember those.
See, it's the opposite for me. It's regular names.
Oh, really?
I can't remember all the guys in Maryland's nicknames. I remember their real names.
So far, I'm the only person naming these freaking patrons.
Yeah, right.
So that's the other reason maybe I can remember.
If you're a patron long enough, you get a nickname.
Exactly.
Popeye will give you a nickname.
Snowman and Penguin.
We got the Highwayman.
Highwayman.
The Machine.
Yep, the Machine. Snowman.
We got a few.
Penguin. Yeah. There you go. Awesome. So on the way back, it's pretty hot. Minot, North Dakota to Havre, even though they spell it wrong.
It looks like Havre. We were saying Havre until one of Lee's buddies said, "Oh no, that's Havre."
Yeah,
Havre. 7 hours.
The E's on the wrong side of the R.
Exactly. It's R-E. It should be Havre, but it's not. It's Havre. 7 hour saddle time, 428 miles, hot, just powering down, and we're taking the Great Northern Route, of course, on the way back, like we said, following that Highway 2, right? Yep. Following Highway 2. Kickstands up 0800s, 0800. Now, I don't think anything remarkable about the ride. It did cool. When we left, it was cool, 70 with a nice cloud cover in the morning, but it did heat up a bit later. Oh, I even put heated gear on that morning.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was cool. Never mind. Yeah, it was actually cool. 65 degrees. And okay, so here's where this day picks up with an interesting story. And I'll let you guys jump in on this. But we pulled in to a place that takes you back in time a little bit.
If you've never been,
it's like time stopped.
If you've never been to this place, you could probably just skip it.
Or go with a group of guys.
We actually
Don't go by yourself.
Yeah, we actually ran into somebody in Minot. We're telling them where we're going and the route we're taking. And
that was the Uber driver.
Yeah, that's right. It was our Uber driver.
Like, don't go to Wolf Point.
Our first one. He was like, yeah, you need to skip that. You should just go around it.
Yeah. Wolf Point, guys, Montana. Wolf Point, Montana. Look it up on a map. I had picked this place because it was right time for lunch based on mileage for that day. Dad's Bar and Grill. The first thing I noted when we pulled into town is a gazebo in a park and multiple intoxicated individuals at 11:30 a.m. holding up bottles of tequila and whiskey, screaming at us, yelling at us, excited because we were the highlight of the day. All these bikers, they were very excited that we were there. At Dad's Bar and Grill. Now, they were so excited that a few of them made their way to the inside of the restaurant. And I'll let you guys talk about that in a minute, but they made their way into the inside of the restaurant to get a closer look. And the lady was very nice. She invited us inside. At first, we weren't sure if we were going to get food there because she said her exhaust fans, I should say, were broken. But she went in, tested them, and we were so lucky that they were working because we got into this place. And it got decent star reviews, but in perspective, it is in Wolf Point. It's a 4-star review for Wolf Point. So yeah, it was bottled beer, canned beer, and I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a dive. It's really a dive. But once you talk about because I was filming and I got it all on film, but some of these guys came in and started befriending you guys, right?
Yeah, there were a couple of the guys that were in the gazebo, and they kind of worked their way down towards the bar. And I actually heard them kind of hyping each other up, like, yeah, let's go and talk to those guys, trying to get the courage to do it. And one of the gentlemen was highly intoxicated.
Gentlemen. That's very nice of you.
The other one, I don't know that he was, but he was deaf.
I think both.
He might have been a little drunk too, but he was not as drunk as the other guy.
I saw him in the gazebo.
And he was, but he was deaf, so he when he spoke, if you didn't know it, you'd go, my God, this guy's a mess. But he told me, he goes, I'm deaf, I read lips. And we were talking, he kept kind of telling me that he couldn't read my lips. I said, shit, man, sorry, I mumble like a motherfucker. So
we can't understand him either.
We
you should go talk to Jeff. You can't understand him either. He's deaf.
We had a good laugh. One of the guys the guy that was heavily intoxicated was Native American, and those of you know
it is a reservation.
It is a reservation, and I'll get to that. But one of the guys recognized, well, I don't think he recognized Indian John, but he probably recognized that John is Native, and he asked him what his last name was, and John told him, and he looked at him, and he said something, and John goes, yeah, maybe, and I think that maybe he thought they were related or something. Anyways,
no, it was John's
his brother worked there,
or something. Yeah, worked there.
That's right.
Officer.
That's what it was.
And so when he told him his last name, he sat there and the wheels were spinning for a while.
Been arrested by him before, probably.
That's what he was wondering, I think.
Yeah, it was hard to really tell what that guy was saying, to be honest.
Yeah, he was. In fact, he comes up and he's like, "Hey, good to see you," and we're like, "Or no, good to see you again. It's been a long time." And I'm like, "Dude, we've never been to Wolf Point before, so it's like, it was your buddy that you were missing. Yeah, hey, it's good to see you again." It's like, I've never been here.
He was going to each table.
Yeah.
He had a fidget spinner, lighted fidget spinner that he was doing tricks with for everybody, entertaining.
He was drunk, but he wasn't belligerent. He was friendly.
No, but to his defense, it was 11:30 in the afternoon.
That's true.
Right. True. It's kind of like you when you're drunk. You're friendly. You dry hump people, but you don't mean anything by it.
I'm a gentle lover.
Lurch did dry hump me this trip. I just want everybody to know, but it was a gentle dry hump.
Only once.
He just
got Whitefish.
No, that was in Duluth.
It was in Duluth.
First night in Duluth.
Just got on top of my bed. I was trying to sleep, and he proceeded to dry hump me. for no apparent reason.
Dominance.
Right.
Just
Dominance. So
Just reminding you.
So it was gentle, though. I appreciate the gentleness because I was trying to get to sleep. So yeah. But yeah, it was a very interesting place. And
I tried to order an IPA. I said, "You got any IPAs? You got anything on tap?" He goes, "We don't have anything
You
on
want
tap."
Budweiser?
He goes, "You want Coors Light, Coors, Bud?" And I go, "I'll take Coors Original."
So
and then
what?
he goes, "You know you're on a reservation."
Oh,
don't
yeah.
you? I said, "Yeah, I know, Bud.
Yeah.
We've been to one before. We live right next.
We
to
live
one.
right next to one. And he was like a white guy, but he's probably like half Indian.
Yeah.
And he said it kind of funny, right?
Like, you know where you're at,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We don't serve IPAs. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're on a reservation. We serve beer, just beer. Yeah. So that was it makes for a good film and funny stories,
Food
clearly.
was good, actually.
The food wasn't terrible,
The deaf
actually.
guy told me that the burgers were outstanding there. He goes, "Hey, really good burgers here."
They were good.
They were
was.
good. They were good. I
was
got nothing to
good
complain
food.
about.
And the service was
they,
good.
And they had, I learned a new slang term for tater tots. Gems. They call them gems.
Nice.
Yeah. You want
Nice.
some gems with that?
That's right. They did.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you, before we leave lunch here, we were on the, and this is not a joke, we were on the 2-minute bike check. One of us would go out every 2 minutes because there is a lot of homeless and people roaming the streets. And even one of the guys there told us, he's like, if you guys took all your shit off your bike, it's really bad here. And so we were just going out every 2 minutes and checking. And I will note the other funny thing, although the service and food were good, not a one of us was willing to get our credit card out and pay for lunch. We all just looked, basically we didn't even get a
cash.
tab.
Nope.
We looked at what the menu items cost and our drink, and we gave them a lot more
Generous
than
tip,
that.
stuck in
Generous
there.
tips and walked out because not a one of us wanted our credit card number left at that place, dude. I found that funny. So yeah, but yes, the food and service for what it was good. So this was nice. This was a shorter ride this day because we arrived at 4 p.m. Early for once. And this was in
Havre.
Havre, Montana, small population, 9,000.
Cool town.
Cool town. Right next to us was nice because we got in early. We were able to shower and relax a little bit. We walking right across the parking lot to Murphy Grill, and good food and environment there too. And some of us left early. You guys have anything to say about?
Well, our waitress,
Old guys are making bad decisions.
our waitress was from Shelton, Washington.
That's right.
That's right.
So not too far from us.
I lived in
a few
Shelton
hours
for a
over the
couple of
hill.
years.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where the Washington State Patrol Academy is at. That's where you worked for a year or two, right? Mm-hmm. So she said she moved out there for more of a conservative lifestyle. Mm-hmm. She wants to be able to keep her AR-15 and go hunting with it. Mm-hmm. But she kind of took a shining, or maybe vice versa, with the old guys. And so we all left at
10, we were in bed.
10.
We went and smoked a cigar.
Yeah, apparently
At
they
least.
shut the place down.
Yeah, shit. I went back and did the same thing. Went and sat in the freaking hot tub because my back was hurting.
Yeah. And Sturgis has a text from Mouse, and he asks him, where are you at? And Mouse goes, still drinking. And Jeff just en route. That was the last text, and they closed that place down,
These
dude.
guys the next morning, we
Indian
were
John.
asking them, "Hey, what time did you guys get out of there?" Before we went to bed.
Yeah, that's what Indian John goes, before I went to bed. Yeah, no shit. That was awesome.
What time did they close? 10. When would you leave? Don't know.
Don't know. Yeah.
They closed after 10.
Yeah. Well, I wonder. I think they probably closed down, just left those guys in there.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, I thought we didn't leave till 10.
We left at like 9:30, had a cigar, and went to
They
bed.
were there
they
for a long time
I think they
after.
were there for closer to 11.
Yeah, his text was after 10. I bet they were
Yeah.
there longer than
I was
that.
thinking at least midnight,
Yeah.
1 o'clock.
Maybe.
That's what I'm
That was a
guessing.
Friday night, too.
Yeah.
It was.
So I'm guessing they were there pretty late. But yeah, it's just great. What time did you go to, or what time did you guys leave? Before I went to bed.
That was funny, dude.
But yeah, so they were all hurting a little the next morning, which we were laughing at because it was warm the next day, wasn't it?
Yes, it
Yes,
did
it
get
was.
warm. And we're going to dive in and finish this thing out here right after we do this. Lurch.
Ride along and treat your ass with some respect already.
Oh, my ass.
Get hooked up with a premium butt buffer seat cushion. This company of bikers developed a super thin, hospital-grade seat cushion made of solid and elastic materials. And unlike gel pads, it won't leak if punctured. The butt buffer is designed not to slide around your seat, fits all motorcycles, installs in seconds, easily cleans, and helps to dampen vibrations. With plenty of models to choose from, they assure you'll have a comfortable ass when riding.
It's so smooth on my
Head on
ass.
over to the Law-Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions.
Didn't crack once. Didn't crack once, Lurch.
Way too much ass talk on this podcast.
Usually he
butt buffers.
Usually when I throw those in,
wipes.
he can't not laugh when I throw those in. All right. So let's head into day 8, and then we only got day 10. Day 10 wasn't a lot, so we're going to wrap this thing up.
We got day 8, day 9, day 10.
Yeah, well, day 10's easy because we're just going to head home.
8, 9, 10?
Yep, let's dive into day 8. Depart at 9 o'clock. Cool, 55 degrees, throttle down, Highway 2, flat, straight, and cool. Now, this was interesting. We stopped at a gas station. Do you want to talk about this a little bit, Popeye, since you talked to the guys?
Yeah, I did a little bit. In fact, I think Lurch did more talking to, but we rolled in. We're getting gas.
Shelby,
there.
Montana.
Getting gas there in Shelby, Montana. Here's another thing about gas stops on this trip is that there are many times where I was on the low range.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of tweaking on my bike, and it's going to get tweaked back here. Because here in the next few days, you guys are going to be putting a cam into the bike here in the studio. But
Yes, we are.
just because of what I was running on my bike, I was draining fuel a little bit faster than everybody else. And leading the front of the pack, I'm breaking wind the whole time. Not shitting my pants, but breaking
Cutting.
wind.
Not farting, but cutting.
Yeah.
Not breaking, cutting.
Cutting wind the whole time. And so I'm burning more fuel than most of the other guys are. And there were several times on this trip, on a 6-gallon tank, I put in 5.5 gallons. So anyway, we're filling up. Patch goes by, couldn't see what it was, circles back around, and then by that time another one had come in, same patch, and as we're filling up, we started talking to these guys, and they were part of
You noticed the LE patch, Lurch?
Yeah. The first guy came by and then kind of disappeared. And what I found out later on is he kind of parked off to the side, probably because he couldn't tell what our cuts were or who we were. But once his friend showed up, then they pulled in and gassed up, and he got off his bike, and I saw the LE. So I walked over there and said hi to him.
Yeah, so LEMC, they actually had the full LEMC club, LE on one side, MC on the other. And they were the Hounds of Hades.
Yep, Hades Hounds.
Hades Hounds, yep.
Hades Hounds, and out of Montana. Said they had a pretty large presence, I would say, or a lot more members on the East Coast. But anyway, yeah, nice guys. Talked to them. And then we were talking, they were asking us where we were headed, and told them we were heading to Whitefish. And they gave us a little bit of an alternate way to go rather than what we were going to be on. You got those roads up there?
We're just going to stay on Highway 2.
Yeah,
right?
we were just going to stay on Highway 2 right into Whitefish, which...
I don't have the roads up because, well, it's just Highway 49.
Yeah.
Right? We got off because I don't have it on the map.
Highway 2 would end up dropping you down south of Whitefish, and then you end up coming in the bottom through...
Kalispell.
Or you can just stay on 89, but you would miss 49. You stay on... We took 89 south and then got off on 49, which wraps back around to 89.
Right. Yeah, so we... Right, that's what we did, right? We got up, gave us some directions, like, go to the teepee and take a right, because you get back on another Indian reservation there for a bit, right? And then it was take a right at the teepee, and roger that. So was that Highway 49? Is that what that one was?
Yeah, Highway 49. And we rode that after lunch, but we got to lead up because we got some information about Highway 49. Now, these guys said they rode it. And
that's right. We made a stop there at St. Mary's.
Yes, and we got some information. And
we're going to go to Kips. But Kips didn't open up till 2 o'clock.
Kips
and
Beer Garden.
We're not sure that it was going to open up ever. It looked abandoned. So we ended up at Johnson's of St. Mary's. Little small, quaint, almost like a cabin kind of place. Good home cooked food. A lot of the guys had the brisket sandwich with the like a blackberry.
It was
Black
okay.
sauce
I mean,
or something. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was okay. There wasn't many
Beef
options
barley
in St.
soup.
Mary, but
Yeah, right.
No beer.
It's a cool place up on the hill, overlook the lake.
Good view.
But we were there, and so these guys from Hades Hound said they rode this 49 and said, yeah, you can ride it. And we were typical, why I don't take information from people that drive cages.
Guy overheard us talking about it.
Yeah. Guy and his wife, and he's like, oh, yeah, you can't, don't take your bike on it and blah, blah, blah. And we're like, yeah, well, we just talked to some guys that rode it and probably be fine. And you would have thought from this guy that it was the most treacherous highway.
Complete pussy, probably.
Yeah. And somebody asked me, and I'm like, he doesn't even ride motorcycles, so I'm not taking any information from him. He drives a car. So at this current time. But yeah, he made it sound like it was, sketchy. And I could tell by the Google Maps that there was a drop-off area. The reason I was looking for that is I wanted to get good drone shots. And so as soon as I said that there was drop-offs and Squid backed out. Lurch's vagina started itching, and he's not going.
Big creamy discharge.
Look at him. He's just trying to think of
Not
something
a
to come
huge
back.
fan of heights, and I'm also going to help brother out and stay with him.
That's it. That, whatever. So Lurch just bagged out, and we wanted him with us, but he just didn't want to go. And so they stayed on Highway 89. Do you want to talk about this highway a little bit? It was a little bit anticlimactic after that buildup.
It was.
I was like, these people made it sound. I'm like, this is
yeah.
retarded, dude. We've been on way worse stuff than that.
Yeah, they're like, oh god, there's potholes everywhere. There's no guardrails, and
The $1 million highway is 10 times what this is.
yeah, all worried about it. And boy, it's only a short stretch, maybe 20 miles, something like that. 15. Yeah. So 15 miles. And there is one stretch basically where there is a good drop off.
Yep.
And I mean, it's
I got
a drop
good drone
off.
shots there. Yeah.
It's a drop off for sure. And it's narrow. But it is nothing that I would be concerned with whatsoever. No. The road is good. When I saw fifth wheel, there was goosenecks. There was gooseneck equipment trailers coming the other direction. I'm like, this can't be too bad at all.
Right.
If those guys can haul through here, not a problem.
The roads in the city streets in Duluth were worse.
Yes.
God, we rode some shitty roads.
Yeah, they had way more potholes in them and ruts and shit like that. So, this thing's a freaking, it's probably on federal ground, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Part of the park system or something like that. Maybe.
I
don't know. But anyway, it's well maintained. It's fine to ride. Beautiful there's a short stretch and there's absolutely beautiful. You get up in the mountains. It's awesome. But yeah, it's not like it's making our top 20 list.
No. I would ride it though.
Yep. I'd say if you're going through the area, definitely turn off.
It was just anticlimactic from the decision we got.
Right.
But it's a great road.
It's a great road.
Yeah.
True.
It's a great road. And after all the straight riding we had been doing, it was fun as heck. Yeah, I was just like, I was expecting something crazy, but it was,
And they expect you to go 25 on it, which of course we did.
Right. 26 once. That's
probably.
It, bro.
Yep.
All right. So, sorry you missed it, Lurch, but you could have made it. I know you could have made it without your KLR.
Oh yeah,
without been fine.
without a doubt. But it is what it is.
We're still gonna bug you about it.
In fact, Squid and I
that's what we do.
Got around to whatever hell town we met up with you, and East Glacier, I believe it was, and we just got off the bikes. We parked them, got off. I was going to plug in my little auxiliary battery to charge up my my headset. And you guys are pulling in the parking lot.
Luckily, I saw you. We passed you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were stopped there. I looked over. I'm like,
I was getting
that's Lurch.
Because we expected you to be about 10, 15 minutes behind us. So I was going to send you a pin of where we were.
That's because we were doing 26.
Yeah. Well, we had to go out and around. We had to kind of
flying.
Yeah, not necessarily backtrack, but we had a little bit more mileage we had to do with higher speed. So we figured we'd beat you there, and we did, but not by a whole hell of a lot. But
had we done 25, we would have been late.
I started waving at you when you came through. So luckily,
I saw you over there to go turn around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, awesome. Definitely hit 49. It's totally worth it. Fun road. Don't let me say that it's not, that it wasn't good. It was just anticlimactic for how everybody built it up. But I would ride it. Absolutely. Again, it was fun. Arrived in Whitefish at about 4 p.m. VRBO, Lurch booked. Now, this is in the city. It's a great location. You're going to walk, with a block.
It's right on the edge of town.
Right on the edge of town. Older VRBO, and it was great. Did the job, and right in a residential neighborhood for us. Now, this is where also I had mentioned up front that this was really a destination trip, a Sworn Few LEMC. We've got a couple guys. One is a patron member. That's Matt Haywood from Merced, California.
Retired law enforcement. And he and Houston and are trying to, there's a third too. Yeah, Tim Ivey, who's also a patron.
Is also a patron member.
Law enforcement officer.
Yep. They're trying to start a Sworn Few chapter. And so that's in process. That's all I'll say about that. And they wanted to ride up, and because it was a club thing, they wanted to ride up. Haywood and Houston wanted to ride up to and meet us in Whitefish, in which they did. And so we all went out on the town, right? And we ate dinner at the Great Northern Bar and Grill, and just kind of had a good time. We'll just say this: had a little bit in issue with some of the kitchen staff, but we won't get into that because that's something I'm handling right now. But they were just not all that happy with 9 guys, and they clearly didn't like their job. So, but the rest of the bar staff and everybody was really cool, and it is a cool place. And a huge patio area, covered patio area because it was warm, and that's we got meal there.
Well, you guys are doing that. I met with a buddy that.
That's right.
Yeah, that lives in Whitefish. He works for the railroad, and he was over in my area for the last year and a half. Just met him at surprise at the gym, and so we just got to be buddies from there. Went over and met him at Whitefish Lodge, and they happen to have old wooden boats from some of them were like back in the 40s,
like Chris Craft.
Yep, Chris Craft.
Nice.
So, and the next morning, actually, me and Lurch went down to the same lodge and had breakfast. Well, some of the other guys kind of all had went off in different directions, having their own breakfast in different places. Me and Lurch had rode down there. But anyway, super cool. That lodge, if you guys get into Whitefish Lodge, like I said, awesome place. There's kind of an outdoor area. It's kind of it's almost like something you'd see in like Mexico or something, where
kind of a resort.
Yeah, like a real resort area, and it's got like outdoor cooking out there. They've got a pool, and then they've got like a tiki bar type of thing where you can come up and order drinks outside. There's a marina right there, so it's really a cool marina and lodge area to hang out at. If like I said, if you get down in that area,
Cool. What was it called?
great Whitefish Lodge.
Whitefish Lodge. All right. Yeah, good. So Great Northern Bar and Grill's where we ate. Then we left, and the guys, of course, got their second win because we got Haywood and Houston in town, and of course they're fresh, a lot fresher than us.
Yeah,
because we've already been riding for 7 days,
their energy kind of leaked off onto us and got us going again.
Mm-hmm. And you guys ended up. We also went to Casey's, which is cool. There's a upper deck where you can overlook the town. We've been there before. Last time we were in Whitefish, they've got little fireplaces up there.
Little rooftop patio with some cocktails and fire pits. And last time we were there, it was cold. This time it was beautiful. And
right.
We got some great footage of the sun going down. And
did.
Enjoyed the weather and the cold beverage.
The bachelorette party was up there.
I didn't see that. What?
Yeah, there was a bachelorette party up there.
Right.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So, we had a good time there. And some of us at that point went back to the house, and then I'll let you guys talk about the rest of the debacle. I was one of them that went back to the house. Once we got back there, we indulged in some nice cigars and whiskey out front, and the rest stayed in town, and they were out very late. 2 a.m. is what.
Well, I mean, they close it too.
Yeah.
You can be out that much later. Than
Late. I just remember Lurch wandering into the bedroom trying to get his CPAP on and shit. It was just a shit show. All right. I didn't get dry hump, though. I was happy about that. He promised he wouldn't dry hump me the rest of the trip.
So
I did. And I stayed by my promise.
Oh, because me and Lurch were sleeping in the same bed, if you guys didn't know.
Oh, okay. So
there was only one bed in this bedroom.
When we were
you didn't have your clothes on, though, so that's cool.
That's right. He sleeps naked.
We were looking at places to stay in Whitefish, and Whitefish is a small town. It's become very popular the last few years. 5 or 6 years ago when we went, the hotel that we stayed in, which was newer, was probably $300 a night. It was over $500. In fact, when later on when Matt and Houston looked, it was like up to $700.
Yeah.
It's insanely expensive. So we looked at different VRBOs. Several of them were condos, which we probably could have stuffed everybody into, but then we'd really be hurting for parking. And so this house was a 3-bedroom house, had street parking. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 beds, a couple of couches.
Yeah, 5 with the pull-out, and a couple. Yeah, like you said, a couple couches and room for air mattresses if you'd want.
And Ryan and I have known each other for 20 plus years. I mean, whatever. It's a king size bed. I'm like, dude, we're doubling up. Whatever. I don't know about you, but I slept fine.
Yeah, I slept pretty good. Besides, it was so
Had
hot.
something to do with the whiskey.
Yeah, could have been.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you miss me when you got back home?
I did.
Was it weird?
I did.
You not sleep?
I sucked my thumb till you got back in the fetal position.
So the other thing is being out in the town in Whitefish, and this happened to us years ago. We were up when we did the Canada trip. Is Canada's expensive for booze? Alcohol is expensive in Canada. When you come back down into Whitefish, Montana's cheap for booze.
Yeah, it is.
And so me and Lurch would go up, and we're alternating who's buying drinks. And shit, when it's only $7 for 2 drinks,
2 mixed drinks, and they weren't weak.
Yeah, we'd each get a mixed drink, and it's $7. That's kind of encouraging you to keep
You're
drinking.
right.
They're making you. They're paying you
Right.
basically.
They're paying you
They're
to
almost
drink.
giving it away.
Right.
Yeah.
Where were you guys drinking at till 2 in the morning?
Well,
or exactly.
after Casey's.
Yeah, right.
After Casey's, we went to.
You went back to the Great Northern,
the
didn't
Remington.
We did go to Remington. Yeah, and we did
How was
the
that?
Great Northern too.
That was good. Remington was good.
We bounced all of them.
And then we bumped over back to the Great Northern. One of the guys that was back in the kitchen was now at the door. He wanted to make sure that I was not filming. He was still not happy about the earlier encounter, but I assured him I was just there to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the Great Northern, Popeye had went to go check out another place, and I was texting him, and then I couldn't find him, so I just walked. Once you get a minute alone, with yourself, you're like, I think I'm done.
I think I can bag out. Nobody's going to try to.
There's nobody around. I'm feeling a little intoxicated. I'm going home. So I stumbled my way back home.
At least you found it.
Yeah.
Did you have to Google map it?
No.
No. Surprised.
It was only a couple blocks, man.
I know.
Figure it out.
Yeah, right. I've seen you not be able to get back before. That's the only reason I'm asking.
Our elders shut down the Great Northern.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Indian John, Jeff.
Yeah.
Right?
To the point
And
where
Mouse.
I believe I heard one of them say, I'm never drinking again.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He said it that morning. Said he's never drinking again.
But
that was the next.
No, that was in Havre. He said, "I'm not drinking," wasn't it?
No, because
he may have said it then too.
He may have said it then too. But we went on the boat, remember, and he wouldn't drink all day.
Yeah.
This is day 9. We're going to talk about
at
it.
Havre, he said he wasn't drinking anymore, and he started having beers at lunch.
And that's the day that I gave them all some hangover cure.
Yeah.
Some some electrolytes, little powdered thing you put in water and drink it, and it kind of gets you back on the good foot.
So it was a shit show the next morning. We're in Whitefish. It's a beautiful day. Now, I will say Oscar, Fuente, and Squid, they left for home. They left early.
Our day ride that day got canceled. We were going to do the Going to the Sun Road, and it's closed. So some of the guys were ready to get home since we didn't have that.
I was going to go
ride.
dirt bike riding with my buddy that lives there, and he said all the roads were washed out, and they had a bunch of the Forest Service roads were closed, so we couldn't get on his bikes. Dude's got 10 bikes.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Yeah, so couldn't go up and ride, and so we bagged that out, and he's like, dude, come back later in the year or next year, and we'll go do it. So
Hells yeah. We had a beautiful day in front of us. I was up early, of course, because I went to bed early and was responsible. And I wanted to make something of the day, so I started making some calls. And so the rest of us are left there, and I start making some calls. These guys roll out of bed late morning, and I
Pretty early from what we used to do in the old days.
yeah.
It was late was 9:30.
Yeah, that is. So I was able to rent, get last spur of the moment, I was able to rent a boat to go out on the beautiful Whitefish Lake because it was going to be like a 90-degree day, sunny, beautiful morning, and was able to get a jet ski. And now I just want to say this, and we'll get into our day a little bit. As you're aware, Popeye, because I texted you the pictures this morning, we turned the boat in and everything, and the jet ski, well, I get a call our first day back here. And this guy sends me some pictures and of the boat that we used. And he said, I'm going to have to charge you $500 because the boat got wet. And he knew it was coming.
I did.
So the backstory to this
for it.
is you can't get a boat wet. No, he did not call me and fine us for getting the boat wet. But Lurch would have you believe, being the non-boater that he is, that he's never going to live this down. You can't even say anything yet. He can't. You're never going to live this down. No, you
say
can't.
whatever I want.
I'll mute you.
Stop me.
I'll just mute you. Yep. Let's see. Red, I can mute both of them. All right. We're muting Lurch for a little bit. You are muted.
Just yell.
There you go. So Lurch isn't going to live this one down. And this is just one of those things. So me and Popeye, the boat.
It's not what I meant to say.
The boat
what
was
you said.
Just awesome.
Words matter.
We were crying. So me and Popeye are avid boaters. We both own boats. I take my family water skiing. So I grew up boating. Well, me and Popeye and some of the other guys on the jet ski were spraying people. I started it. Go by with a jet ski and spray people on board the Tritoon boat, okay? It takes a lot to sink a Tritoon. And Popeye comes over, and Lurch is half in the bag or 3/4 in the bag. Yes, you were. You were drunk. You couldn't even stand up on the boat. We were all watching you. You were, dude. I love it when he thinks he wasn't drunk. Dude, you should have seen your legs. We actually watched you for a while, and we were just laughing back and forth. You're trying to get music on your phone and shit, and you can't even stand up. A couple times you actually sat in the seat because the wave sat you in the seat because you couldn't keep your legs. So anyways, look at,
what do you do with the drunken sailor?
What do you do with the drunken sailor? It's okay, Lurch. It's okay. You were on a boat. You weren't driving. And so Lurch, Popeye comes by and just douches the front of the boat, and it goes all over the carpet and stuff. Now, anybody who boats knows that's no big deal, but Lurch is like, you're getting the boat all wet. We're like, everybody just busted up. We're like, what the fuck is a boat? So the ongoing joke is that, and when we got back to the dock, we gave it back to the guy that we rented it from. And I'm like, sir, I'm really sorry that we got your boat wet. And Lurch just hangs his head and walks off. You son of a bitch. So there's the story. And that Lurch doesn't get to respond. So, all right.
Yeah, but it's a boat. He says it's supposed to get wet.
It's supposed to get wet. Oh, that was
Fake news.
That was the funniest thing we've ever heard.
All.
Oh, God. Thanks, Lurch. Thanks for letting us
You're welcome.
hack on you. All right. We all got stuff to hack on about each other. So, all right. So we did go out on the boat, and it was a spectacular day. You
guys.
Yes, you did. You did. We had to come send a search and rescue party to try to find you.
I went down some little canal. I was looking at all these mansions. There's some huge houses on that lake. Holy shit. Like 10,000 square foot houses. Absolute monsters. And
I'd love to live on that lake. It's cold.
Oh, yeah.
Holy
super cold.
cow.
So Ryan gets behind the wheel of this Tritoon. He's hammered down pretty good. And about the time that I'd went down.
Not hammered down on the throttle. Yes.
Right, hammered down. What did I say, hammered?
Yeah.
Hammered down. He's hammered down on the throttle, taking off. And I pulled into this freaking, like I said, it's kind of little eddy thing that goes back, and there's all these houses and whatnot back in there. And so I'm looking at all these houses, and I come back out. I'm like, shit, where'd the boat go? So I get on it, and I'm trying to catch up to where I figured that they went, and I could not find them anywhere.
We're just floating in a little cove. That's where we're floating.
And every little boat that looked like them, I'd go over to it. Wasn't them. Looked all. It probably took me 45 minutes to find you guys
before we came looking for you, and then we saw you, and I just chased you for a while till you finally looked over your shoulder and realized, oh, that's them, and we were waving at you. Yeah, we just kind of chased you the best we could in a pontoon boat. We were like, he's either out of gas or he flipped it or capsized or something. Who knows? Who knows that guy? But yeah, we had a great time. Highly suggest getting out on that lake if you get a chance. The backdrop is amazing. You've got the snow-capped peaks. You just can't describe. That's a postcard, and it was just glass out. The water, the lake wasn't even that busy. And so we spent the whole day doing that. We had our food out there, our beverages, and but it is definitely refreshing. On the boys when I jumped in, Lurch, the boys sucked right up. Somewhere got lost in my taint. Yeah, it took me a day to find them. Took me a day to find them before they decided to come back out.
Yeah. So, no, I rolled the ski a time or two, and it gets cold.
Yeah,
real cold.
Yeah, and it's early season, but still, I don't think that lake ever really warms up. Right. Just because of its location. We had a debacle. Haywood capsized the jet ski. And he got a nasty burn on his arm.
Trying to roll it back over.
He reached over the top.
Got the exhaust.
That's where the exhaust comes out. And he literally took a layer of skin. The next day, he was freaking putting Neosporin and burn cream on it and whatnot. I feel bad for him.
Probably the size of a softball.
It's about the size of a softball. It was a nasty burn. Mm-hmm. So don't turn a jet ski over that way. Back at the VRBO, barbecue. Ooh, Lurch really cooked us and Sturgis. We went to the grocery store. And steaks, shrimp, and beer and asparagus. And it was yummy.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did. You did a very good job on the steaks, sir.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
That was
considering you had a shitty thermometer and
kind of had to go by feel.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's got to feel the meat, make sure it's okay.
Just make sure it's tender.
Mm-hmm. Just grabs the side of the meat. That's right.
I burned the shit out of 3 pieces for the guys that like it overcooked.
Yeah.
Houston gets the award for the worst sunburn.
Yeah,
dude
a little pink.
Was pink, bro. The next day he said he was hurting, man.
He pulled up his shirt and you're like, whoa.
I told him that day, I'm like, dude, you're getting pink. You know how drunk guys don't listen very well.
Gasper. Maybe we need to call him
Gasper.
Gasper.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. No doubt. Yeah, so some of the guys decided, I went back. We were burned. I just wanted the steak. We went after the steak dinner, had a cigar, reminisced about our wonderful trip we had because the next day we're leaving and then we're going to wrap this up. But some of the guys decided to go back into town.
Again, the elders.
But it didn't last
The
very
three
long
wise
this
men.
night, did it? I think, the three wise men, Sturgis, Jeff, Indian, John, and Mouse went back into town, but they couldn't hang and we're back. Well, I'm still pretty impressed because they were back around midnight. Pretty impressed that they pulled it out like a fourth night in a row or third night, whatever it was. So, yeah. Let's, we love our patrons, Lurch, Popeye,
We do.
We want to get to know you better. We want you in the private Facebook group. I mean, we want to give you benefits, and there's just no reason not to become a patron member. But hey, we definitely appreciate the flat donations if that's how you choose to support us. We never balk at a flat donation. We want to thank the following folks.
Oh, yeah. We want to thank Alan Render. We don't know where he's from, but we want to thank him. Jamie Kalinsky of Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin, also a top-tier Patreon. And Douglas Emerson, who we do not know where he's from as well.
lawabidingbiker.com/donate is how they did that, and we love the flat donations, of course. Puts a little fuel in the Law-Abiding Biker gas tank.
And keeps this thing running on down the road.
There you go, guys. So we're going to go into day 10, and then we are out of here. Let's see. So straight from Whitefish all the way back to us would be the Yakima, Washington area. For Popeye, it would be the Wenatchee, Washington area. Let me scroll to it here. We're looking at 7.5 hours saddle time, 460 miles, kickstands up at 0930, I believe is what we decided. And we knew we were going in to hell.
Yeah.
We knew it by looking at the weather.
Riding right into the depths of hell. My wife had texted me and said it's going to be over 100 in Yakima today. And we were leaving Whitefish, and it was like 55 in the morning. It's hard to believe that
beautiful.
It's going to go 50 degrees,
Yep. I had my heated gear. I didn't turn my heated gear on. I just put it in for a liner because it was chilly. When you're riding at 70, 80 miles an hour at 55 degrees.
Riding Highway 2, Road Highway 2 out of Whitefish, absolutely beautiful.
It was.
That was a nice area. And then the other thing about, there is a way that'll drop you down to 90, but shit, this dropped us on Highway 2. Where did it drop
all
us
the way to
out?
195, right? Is where we went south.
I was trying to think of this.
Or it's 395. It drops you down into Hayden.
Yeah, that sounds
You get
right.
off Highway 2 and then you go Hayden, because Hayden, I'm taking my family to Hayden Lake. We got a VRBO there. And then which drops you into Coeur d'Alene then.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So exactly. Drops you not too far from Coeur d'Alene on Highway 2. But absolutely beautiful going that way. And then you don't have to deal with all the truck traffic and all the traffic rather than going down, because there is a way you can cut down through Flathead Lake and it ends up, I don't remember the name of the city that it drops you down onto. It's a big truck stop area off of in Montana, off of 90. But then you're running 90 through Montana and Idaho. And you're having to deal with, like I say, all the truck traffic, all the people. This way, hardly any traffic. Hardly any trucks, nice scenery, and it adds like 15 minutes.
Yep.
So, shit, why not?
It was 95, not 395, just 95. To be specific.
Oh, 95, sorry, yeah. 95 drops you down there.
Went into Coeur d'Alene, had lunch at Coeur d'Alene, at a cool little spot. What was that? It's something, the Tap House.
Tap House.
Yeah, Tap House. And there's a couple different tap houses we discovered.
We usually go to Crafted Tap House. This time we just went to what's called the Tap House.
And this was good. They had good food, good beer. So that was kind of a nice little stop.
95 degrees in Coeur d'Alene, 90 degrees, right around there.
It was getting hot.
It was getting hot. Yeah.
And there was just kickstands up after that. Heading westbound on I-90, and we started dropping guys as we went along that lived in different areas.
Ritzville. We stopped in Ritzville, said our goodbyes. And it was 95 degrees there, I believe. Yep.
And when I pulled into Wenatchee area, it was 104.
Yeah, nice. You were hotter than us. I think we got up to 98 that day when we rolled in here. Kind of dropped everybody off. The Last of Us, Lurch, Indian John, me, Houston, and Haywood. They followed us into Yakima to the Lab studio. I took them, which they wanted to ride. We can come home two ways from Ellensburg, Washington, but we took the beautiful State Route 821, the Yakima River Canyon, and just snaked the river all the way back. It was a nice note
to
end
good
the
way
trip.
to end it.
It always is. And slower speed, just kind of hit the cruise and just enjoyed the beautiful day and sunny and river. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Should we do a little cold call? Call Haywood, see if...
what would you like to ask them?
He's available. He's texting me right now.
Yeah.
What would you like to ask him? Do you have some questions for him?
I'd just like to ask him, what it was like to ride with us and if they had fun and what if they would make different decisions on how to roll over a jet ski. I think we have some questions to ask. Plus, Houston had a little debacle on the way out of town.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Dialing.
Trying to remember what that was. Houston had a debacle?
He on the way out of Yakima.
All right. You guys got this for a minute?
Yeah,
I got to take the dog out for a
Okay.
break. He's been in there a long time.
Hello? Hey, Matt, can you hear us?
Must be on his bike.
He is on his bike. He said he'd get home about 4:30. Matt.
That sounds like a
It's on
bike.
his end. He answered it, but he's
Can you hear us?
trying to call him back.
Try it again. Hey, can you hear us?
This is why you need like a Senna 30, a good brand.
How about now?
There we go.
Now we got you. Jeez.
Well, hey, what's going on? You know, technology's supposed to make your life easier.
Yeah, if it works. We were just kind of wrapping up the podcast, but want to blow out a quick cold call to you and see how the trip was to you.
Awesome. Well, I am about 2 miles from home as we speak.
Oh, nice.
So worked out pretty good, but it is now 104 degrees.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, so it's been a warm one.
That's what it was when me and Sturgis rolled into town. It was 104 for us.
Oh, fabulous. Yeah. But I'm sure you guys, you talked to Houston at all?
No.
No, well, you guys heard about our debacle yesterday, right? We're leaving town.
Yep, we had a flat tire.
Yeah.
So where did that thing go flat? It looked like you were just south of Yakima a little bit, maybe towards Wapato on Highway 97.
Yep, right, exactly right where that was at. So
Is
he told me.
Is it something that he had hit later on and just came loose, or what do you think?
No, actually, there was about 1.5 inches cut around the center part of the tread on the rear tire. So
Ran over something?
what was that?
Did he run over something?
Yeah, I think he hit something as we were leaving the hotel that morning.
Oh, bummer.
But the one of the local shops there in Union Gap took care of you.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. So how was, what did you think of riding with our group?
You guys are a bunch of fucking animals. No, I loved it. Had a great time. Rode nice and tight the whole way. It was enjoyable. Everybody was safe, and then we were reckless at the same time. But Popeye got us where we needed to be.
Yeah, he's pretty good at that. We were just talking about the boat in there in Whitefish, and that you got a little burn. How's that doing?
Oh, my little second, maybe third degree burn on my arm.
Yeah.
It's feeling wonderful. Sweating, riding a motorcycle and all that kind of stuff.
You couldn't ask for better weather for a burn on your arm, but triple digits.
It just so happens that he just likes to linger on some things. But I got to tell you, I don't think Yakima wants us to ever leave, because every time we come to Yakima, it always something happens that we're end up stuck in there longer than we wanted to.
Yeah, for the listening audience, these guys came up in April to meet with us, and it snowed. We got unseasonable snow in mid-April, and they had to load up in a U-Haul and head home. And now this time Houston got a flat tire and had to get that fixed. So I heard that Houston said he's never coming to Yakima again.
Yes, he said he's never coming to Yakima again.
It's like Hotel California. You can check anytime you want. You can never leave, though.
Nice reference there, buddy.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, it sounds like you're just about home, so we'll let you go. We just wanted
Yes,
to
sir.
say hi and get your input.
Right on, guys. No, I had an absolute blast. We look forward to it, and I can't wait to do it again.
All right. Take care, brother.
Right on. Laters.
Later.
See you guys. Bye.
All right. There you go. A little cold call there. Now, so overall, 4,000-mile trip, just somewhere in there. Everybody was a little bit different.
Pretty close.
And 10 days. Do you guys have any thing you want to talk about that we didn't mention before we wrap this thing up?
It's a little different than our usual trips, like you said earlier, and maybe even in the last episode, we really try to pick roads that are very scenic and a lot of fun to ride. And this was all about destination. But like Lee said earlier, there's still a lot of beauty to be held, or to be seen, going through that Montana, North Dakota. I'm glad that I did it, just to say I rode some of that area. But more than anything, it was great to get together with our brothers from around the nation. I'd look forward to doing it again. I know Larry said this is something we need to do every year. I don't know if we'll be able to do that, but no. It was a great time. Really enjoyed it. Always do. We're from so many different areas and different law enforcement agencies, but we have a lot in common. It's not just motorcycles. We tend to have the same kind of, philosophy or way of thinking. And I just enjoyed every year. I look forward to it. It was a blast.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be fun. Looking forward to the next year's ride. Usually we don't get quite as many, miles. 4,000 is quite a few miles. We've done it before, obviously, riding back to the Midwest. Like you just said, it's basically because we had to get where we were going and we're laying down miles after miles. And when you're doing multiple 500-mile days, that will happen. You'll put some miles on. So next year probably won't have as many miles, but most likely end up go south from here next year is what it sounds like.
And we'll let you guys know as the year goes on. Of course, we plan on picking the patron member meetup of the sanctioned event back up in 2023. Until then, just stay tuned and make sure you get out there and ride every chance you get, Bikeaholics.
Hell yes.
Good times. Thanks, Popeye.
Absolutely. Always a good time.
For coming down. And
well, you do have some work to do.
We do. We're going to keep Popeye's bike. We're going to put a new set of handlebars on it. New tire.
Maybe new brakes.
The big thing is cams.
Yes, sir.
And that's the film project because we have videos on all the other stuff. But we're going to film an entire cam job and on his bike. And so that should be pretty good. We'll not sure if we're going to put that video out for sale or free, but we'll figure that out.
Popeye needs more power.
Yeah, right. I think not. But yes, no, it'll be cool, and it'll be cool to see how it writes when we're done with it and tune it out and all that kind of stuff. So look forward to that video, guys. We got a lot of stuff going on here, and what do we want to do for a call to action, Lurchy? You got anything in mind?
I would say if you would pull them up so I can look at them. Let's talk about the biker gripper.
There you go, guys. The biker gripper. We used them all across this 4,000 miles. We've used them for years and years. Of course, if you need a cell phone or GPS motorcycle mount solution, get the biker gripper. It is the sexiest, sleekest, strongest cell phone, motorcycle, and GPS mount on the market. That's right. Use it to mount your cell phone, which is what most of us use it for. GPS device, radar detector, EFI tuners, toll transponders, so much more. Tried and tested by the law-abiding biker crew right here. We all use them, love them. 18 pounds grip strength on that bad boy. Not like those other cases. You can use your biggest iPhone or Android. You can use what case you want. Unlike, you guys see all the commercials, the quad lock. You got to use their proprietary case and all that kind of stuff. What a bunch of crap. That's right. You can use ours right with the case you want because it's got 18 pounds grip strength. Nobody makes anything like it. Believe in it so much, we stamped our logo on it. Available exclusively in the law-abiding biker store. You can choose from multiple different models, including control mounts and universal bar mounts. Mount it right side up, upside down, however you want.
Sideways if you want to.
Sideways. You can switch it into portrait mode, landscape. Yeah, it's up to you guys. A lot of options over there, right over in the law-abiding biker store. We appreciate your support. And hey, lastly, if you can't support us in any other way or financial, at least get over to iTunes or Stitcher Radio or Spotify or iHeartRadio, wherever you are, especially iTunes. Give us a 5-star rating on the podcast. It helps bump us up in the rankings so more bikers around the world can find us and join this thing we call
the hashtag
Biker Revolution.
Out of here, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. 2-part episode on our Minnesota trip. We're still trying to get our bearings back about us because this is only the second day we've been back, and we took yesterday. We didn't really take it off. Lurch and I worked from home, but even Popeye said it takes a couple days to get back into reality and get your body detoxed a little bit and quit eating out, all the eating out food, just kind of takes a toll on you. So fun trip, guys. fun spending time with you. lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-butt. BUTT. And a word of advice, be careful. Never get your boat wet.